number 2025 as a committee substitute, and I'm going to recognize Senator Baird to explain.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 2025 was one that's brought to us by both the industry and the Department of Ag. It just kind of modernizes some language in there. It's something that both industry and the regulators asked for. It just, again, brings it up to date. Kind of the changes on that, from what we've already had. It's a law that's been on the book, and just updating lines 13 through 20. It changes the words of amending ingredient to beneficial substance. That's just the more common standard word that we use today. Line 72 through 80. It adds the definition of a plant biostimulant. Again, it's consistent with national standards. And then 102 through 110, it gives the Department of Agriculture the authority to adopt labeling requirements for plant biostimulants to the current national standards. That is a brief explanation of the bill, Mr. Chairman.
So you've heard the explanation. Are there any questions on the committee substitute? Senator Hill.
B&C business for a long time, but what would be a plant amendment or amending ingredient? Anybody have an example of that?
I want to recognize Mr. John Gordon Campbell to explain that further.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members. Appreciate y'all taking some time on this bill. So, plant biostimulant is a growing sector of the market, about a $3 billion a year industry, and we expect it to continue to grow. An example would be humic acid, fulvic acid, microbial seaweed. So we're trying to get a regulatory framework around that, so it's standard across all states, and the farmers are making sure you're getting a legitimate product because it goes through the regulatory process. So beneficial substances is the category. Under that falls plant biostimulants, then there's soil amendments and plant amendments. Those are three different categories of products. Right. So there's a lot of different ones of those too. We can think about these microbials. Certain ones are biostimulants, some are going to be plant amendments, some are going to be soil amendments, depends on how they're applied. Let me think of some other products. Humic, fulvic acid, seaweed, bacteria, beneficial bacteria would be used for these. So these class of products, they're not fertilizers, not pesticides. They help the plant take up fertilizers to make them more productive. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that's how these class of products will be registered through the department. I'll bring you some labels. This is specific. Yep. I'll bring you some product labels. All right.
Any further questions? Do I have a motion to adopt the committee sub? Senator Younger. All right. On the committee sub, all in favor? Opposed? That bill carries. Now we have to move a motion to accept the bill and move Senator Younger. All in favor? Opposed? All right, that carries. We'll report that. Next bill, we're going to go to Senate Bill 2264. This is dealing with our ever-growing agritourism industry in the state. Basically, what we're doing, we are defining and broadening the agritourism activity. On line 19, we're adding the language conducted on a location registered by an agritourism professional. And also, we are working with the liability status. If you go to section 3, line 85, we're just changing to the word signage. So we're dropping there was a requirement of at least 10, I believe it was 10 signs per exhibit or attraction. We're just changing that to where it is a plain visible signage within each of those exhibits. So that's an explanation of the bill. Any questions? For a motion? Senator Berry. All in favor? Opposed? That bill carries. We're going to move to Senate Bill 2266, and I'm going to recognize Senator Berry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a bill that, is fairly simple. What it does is it compels the Department of Revenue to compile a list of all items eligible for the sales tax reduction under a commercial farmer's permit. You read that section 1. It tells you exactly that. That's what they're going to do. The rest of it just brings forward code section of current exemptions or reductions. What I've seen, what I've heard from farmers across the state is there's a lot of variance depending on the retailers they go to as to what's eligible and what's not for the sales reduction. And so we're just asking the Department of Revenue to tell us what is and what is not eligible.
Questions on the bill? For a motion? Motion is title sufficient to pass. All in favor? Opposed? That bill carries, and that will conclude this meeting. For a motion, rise and report.